get your XP.
You're gonna slice that demon's throat.
That's right. Double shotgun to the brain.
That's what the Bible wrote.
Boom, nigga.
Chicky, chicky, bang, bang.
Chicky, chicky, boom, boom, bow, bow.
In a world where demons are running amok, there is one hero, Clayon McFarlane.
That's right, it's me, Clayon. I'm here to kill you demons.
Podcaster by day, demon slayer by night.
Brand new episode of Clayon Couch. Yeah. With my dude Jacob. There we go.
Right,
Let's
that's how
go.
it's how I live. Thanks for telling the truth.
Yeah.
I try to, Clayon.
How you guys doing?
Couch. Yeah. What we gonna talk about this week?
Welcome to the show. This is Clayon Couch. My name's Clayon. Damn, it's Jacob. Flexing.
Right.
You motherfucker.
Bathroom is that way. Oh no, I want to stretch. Oh.
Sometimes you gotta,
Stretching before you go to bed is amazing.
You know what I mean? Got that hydrate button in effect.
Yo, bro.
Now got the hydrate button in effect.
You got that Red Dead, bro.
Bye, you know what I mean? Welcome to the show. Did I say that already? Maybe I did.
Yep, I think so.
I don't care. I'm saying it again.
Say it again.
Welcome to. Don't fucking tell me I can't say it twice.
You can welcome people as much
Welcome
as
to
you
the
want.
goddamn show, guys. My name is Clayon. That's Jacob. So what?
Word to your mother.
We were talking earlier
Yes.
about how sometimes we feel pressure to work and overwork ourselves because that's the way we've been trained.
Yeah.
And I was saying how I agree with you.
Yeah, and it's weird because like I was having those thoughts, and I was working part-time, only working like 3 days a week, but I was still making good money to pay everything I needed to pay. But for some reason I still felt like on my days I just felt for lack of a better term, I felt like lazy almost. I was just like I'm home more than I work. Like this doesn't feel right, and it's like even though I'm handling my responsibilities, I still felt like I should be dedicating more time to work, and it was a weird feeling, and it just shows
more time to work rather than your family.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible the way they trained our brains to think in regards to that.
Like it almost came off too where I when my family had asked me, I would lie almost, say I would work more days than I did because I didn't want any preconceived notions or being judged or something like that. I don't. It's weird. It's just that, but that was my reaction. I just was like,
why do we constantly live our lives the way that we want people to see us? If that makes sense. We do. You're not the only one. I do that sometimes. Everyone. It's just the fact that we're like, oh, what is this person gonna think about us? That's how we make our decisions, right?
Yeah.
Every decision is based upon what someone else is going to think.
yeah.
And that sucks. That's very imprisoning. That's keeping yourself in a cage. You're not able to be the true you and enjoy life to the fullest capacity because you're always thinking, what's that person gonna think?
Yeah, I think I'm so used to the way I work now, working less days. I don't think I could ever go back to a 5 and 2 type of week, a 5 days on, 2 days off. I don't know. I just feel like 2 days isn't enough anymore. Now that I've experienced having, the traditional a couple more days off than you actually work, it's just for me. I'm just like, no, I can't go back to that really constrained 2 days off. I have too many things I want to do on those days. And even now that I work 4 days on and 3 days off, you know what I'm saying? Even that, I think in general, I think that's how it should be across the country. I think people should just get more days off. They still be productive at work and everything, but I feel like we are just too constrained.
I think the study shows that you'd be more motivated to work if you have more days off because you want to take full advantage of the time that you need to work. It's just when you feel like you have to work every day, it just becomes monotonous.
Exactly.
And just the same shit. So I have 3 questions for you, Jacob.
I might have 3 answers.
Good. I appreciate that. First question, Jacob. If you could live your life as any video game character,
Oh,
What character would that be?
Clayon. Oh man, we might need a whole show just for this question.
Just right.
Yeah, I was like,
The
it's so
whole
many.
show is on this. Let's go.
Okay, video game. See, now I can only think of like 2 video games for some reason. Now my brain's like, I played hundreds of them, but you know, now I can only think of 2. I don't know, man. Like, I probably would stick with the game that I'm playing right now because it's the most fresh in my mind. I probably want to be, William Blazkowicz from Wolfenstein. I think I want to be that character.
Want to live in a world where Nazis have taken over, and you have to now defend the world?
I gotta say yes, because for a couple reasons. Well, one, you are part of this resistance group in the game that just is so like, it's so dope. This like family, they're imaginary characters, but you feel so connected to them.
Right.
And they're just dope ass people. Like it's only like 10 or 12 of you, but it's just like, and you got really this you know, you met this really cute chick who took care of you and nursed you back to help with you in a coma. You have twin daughters with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you're killing Nazis, man. You know what I'm saying? You're almost invincible. You know what I'm saying? You can take so many hits. You're destroying like the Nazi regime. So yeah, you live in a world of Nazis and stuff, but it's like there's literally it's a no holds bar. Like you just go out there and slaughter them. You know what I'm saying? And then you come home, you got a dope wife, you got a dope little family in your resistance circle. You know what I'm saying? I think sky's the limit. You know what I'm saying?
I wanna be Grand Theft Auto 5. I wanna be.
Oh, which one? Which guy?
I wanna be Franklin.
Franklin,
I
hell
wanna
yeah.
be Franklin. Cause I like Franklin's. I like Franklin's approach to the world, and I also like his climb. Right, Franklin's in the beginning of the game, Franklin's living with his aunt.
Yeah.
And by the end of the game, Franklin has
dope pad on the hills.
He has dope pad on the hills. He has business, all kinds of businesses. If if that's the decision you choose, like that's such an awesome story to start out at the bottom and to reach to the pinnacle where you're living comfortable.
Matthew said, "I want to be Trevor."
I want to be a psycho racist,
right?
Kind of racist, redneck motherfucker who's just fucking blood hungry.
Yeah, Franklin's a dope character. I like his writing and I like his development in that game. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like, you have the extremes on both sides of you. You got the like the mob type of bank robber in Michael, and then you got this crazy psycho. Every GTA player's fantasy guy, Trevor. And then you kind of have the down to earth, Franklin character. So I think this reminds me of the last episode, the last question with the superpowers. Like my answer comes off, I'm like, I want to be like kill it like super strength, you know what I'm saying? Like not really thought out answer. And then you come out, I'm like, then I'm over here like, yeah, that's probably a good existence to have right there.
Great climb, right? And the world of Grand Theft Auto, I think, is just fantastic. That you can do shit, and then just the next day, those consequences don't necessarily follow you, right? If you get arrested, how many times you don't have like this criminal record that follows you that doesn't allow you not to be able to own businesses or whatever. You can still do all that.
You die in a fiery plane crash, you come out of the hospital like an hour later, $50 healthcare, $50 to fix you up, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. You barely have to eat in Grand Theft Auto 5. You don't eat that much. You know, like now if you lived in San Andreas, if it was Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, you'd probably have to eat a little bit more balanced. But Grand Theft Auto 5, you don't have to necessarily.
So you gotta worry about
that part. You just gotta worry about buying bullets and buying clothes. And,
right. Yeah, it's definitely good to be in the Grand Theft Auto universe when you have money and you have like status and stuff like that, because some of the aspects of that world are definitely horrible. Like the police, I think, are way.
Oh my god,
they're blatantly.
Oh god, they're just they ignore everyone else. They just focus on you. What are you doing? What are you doing over there? What are you doing? And like that's the one thing I have complaints about Grand Theft Auto. Someone else can be fucking murdering someone else on the side. If you just happen to like hit a police car or something, you get. It's like, nigga, you're not focused on any of the crime. You're just waiting for me to fuck up.
Wait, what's the slogan on their police? It's to obey and survive. Obey and survive or something.
I forgot what game that I was playing. Oh, I was playing Watchdog, and in Watchdog, it was a little bit more pleasant because they made it feel like the cops weren't only focused on you. There was other crimes in the city, and they would go after other people for different shit. Like they weren't just like focused on you. In Grand Theft Auto, it feels like they have a vendetta against you. Like they're just waiting for you to slip up.
They got the stars ready to throw on you. Your screen, yo.
It's like,
you jaywalk? 3 stars.
Right, yo.
Send the SWAT team.
He's not stopping. We need the SWAT team, helicopter, army.
Right.
It's intense, but I'm trying to think of what other universe I would like to. I'm sure a lot of people would be like, live in the Mario universe. But I would not love to live in the Mario universe because that just it feels uncomfortable. There's not really any really solid land. There's always like
how you like live.
Right. There's always like
I love.
What do you call it? Open gaping holes that lead to nowhere. Just like things that just fall down and die.
It's literally meant for like the game port. The game port, you probably had fun with it for a couple days, I would assume. But then afterwards, you'd be like, damn, I just want to chill, bro.
Yeah.
Where can I go buy a house, bro? Like these damn mushrooms.
Fucking castles and these mushrooms are pissing me
Princess
off.
keep getting kidnapped, bro. It's like I'm trying to chill, man.
Like, this is modern day. Why do you have to be a damsel in distress? I mean, what about woman power and all that shit? So yeah, I would not want to live in. I don't think I would want to live in Mario's universe or Sonic's either. That's also a headache.
That seems tiring.
I would definitely not want to live in fucking what is it? We were just talking about it. No, it's like Grand Theft Auto. Just Cause. I would not want to live in fucking Just Cause universe. It's just chaos.
Yeah, right.
It's just war and explosions and
tornadoes.
Oh my god, I would not be able to relax in the Just Cause universe. Not at all.
I think if someone said The Sims, that would be just like that's so you live.
Life.
You live how you. Yeah, it's like you live how you live now, right?
Live and have someone control you is basically what you're saying.
Exactly, right?
Because The Sims isn't really.
We are The Sims. There's someone.
Is there the arrow above my head?
I'm upset. I'm the angry.
Emotions were just like The Sims is the most basic of human emotions acted out. It's so fantastic. Like when they're angry, they're just the way they show their emotions very childlike.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
It's crazy. I'm still trying to think of other games, and all I can think of are like I only play like apocalypse type games. I'm just like, well, any game I choose kind of like the world would suck, kind of, you know. Like,
see, lucky for me, I go all about. I don't just stay in one. Like I don't just play sports game, or I just don't play Call of Duty. Like I explore. I'm all over the place. I'm playing, like I said, Far Cry Primal. Right now. Before that, I was playing Watchdog. I like open world games.
Yeah.
But you know what game I actually just finished? Detroit Becoming a Human.
Oh yeah, it's like the point and click game, right? Like you kind of choose your options, like your life path.
Sure. It just made me feel weird when you said point and click. I was playing with a remote control. There's a lot of X or circle.
Well,
R1.
how was your outcome? Like, what was the world like?
It was good.
Did you revolt or I know the AI like you could choose like.
Yeah, you could choose different paths. It was very interesting to be in control of the story narrative, and I'm really interested in that, in sort of being able to control my story narrative and what the character does. It's a different way than just being able to control like how jumping and fighting, but being able to strategize and figure out how you want to approach a situation. So it's like it's like conversational combat.
Yeah.
As I would like to put it.
It's
conversational combat because it's figuring out how to approach each individual character. Like how are you going to call this character aggressive? Are you going to try to befriend this character, or how do you respond? So it is really it is like that. So I like that because I'm interested in conversations with humans and how to have conversations with humans, because all of us have conversations differently, right? We retain information different. So I'm very interested in how do you get a person person to do this thing? Do you use honey? Do you use different? Just different things work.
And there's like real life consequences too to what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? It's like even some things sometimes in those type of games too, like something that you think will be a good thing. It's like later on you're like, oh, actually,
right. And being able to go back and replay it and have
just
different
different
outcome.
Yeah.
So that's pretty fun. I'm trying to think if I would choose to be in the world of Detroit Becoming Human. No, because I'm a black man and I kind of already lived that life, and my ancestors already lived that life. So I'm not, because it's basically a story about slavery. Just from the view of androids.
Yeah.
And but it's still nonetheless a really good story. I think I like it.
That sounds really good.
I likes it a lot. Question number 3, Jacob. Would you like a peaceful world with COVID, or a war-torn world free of COVID? Yeah, Jacob. That's the question. Would you like a world, Jacob, where it's peaceful, but there's COVID everywhere, or Jacob, you want this world where there's war? People getting shot in the street, but no COVID. Just
I have to go with the first one. I guess you know what I'm saying. Like, I have a less likely a chance to get COVID than I would get shot. I guess like, yeah. At least with COVID, I mean, like things still happen. You can still go buy a Whopper from Burger King if you want to, or I don't know. You can still do normal day things like war torn. I mean, yeah, there's no COVID, but I mean, everything's blown up, so you just like. I don't have to wear a mask though. I think I'll take the first one on that one. I think I'll take the peaceful world with COVID.
You're gonna go with the peaceful world all the time.
Oh, I'm just saying, because you gotta wear a mask when you go out, but I mean, at least there's a place to go out to, There's a world.
Right. Let me see.
It depends on what you mean by war torn. Like, are we talking like
we're talking like every night before you go to sleep.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna go with COVID then. Yeah, we'll take COVID. COVID doesn't go out.
But in the daytime, between a certain amount of time, let's say between 8 o'clock and 12 o'clock, there's a ceasefire time where you can
go to the grocery store
without fear and death. But right as soon as 12 o'clock goes on.
I think we're gonna go with COVID on that one.
Are you sure?
I think so, because I mean, like, I don't want to get shot going down the street. I mean, some might cough on me with COVID, but at least that's much less likely, I think.
But you're not. I feel like you're not putting into consideration that grace period though, when there is no gunshots, and you can just live and enjoy the world as is.
Well, I mean. So in those 4 hours, like, do you, like, is it amazing life, or is it just like your normal life?
Like, in those 4 hours, it is beautiful. It is as if there is no war within those 4 hours. You can literally go anywhere within those 4 hours, and no one will bother you. But after those 4 hours,
so it's basically how far you can get in 4 hours.
Yep.
Well, we're never going on vacation, you know what I'm saying? Because you can't do that in 4 hours.
But if you get there in 4 hours, you just have to.
It's just a race. A race. Step on it, pilot.
You just have to. When the war starts, you just have to be inside, right? Then the next morning, you'll have 4 hours on vacation where it's just beautiful.
But war nowadays, like, everything will be blown up. Like, I mean, like, they would be bombing cities, towns.
Okay, well, we'll say that there are certain areas that they fight in. Now, the residential areas they don't fight in, but you still can't go out because.
So people are going shooting each other in Providence. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like in your city. Like it's
like
not just
in your in your city. So for instance, if you go on Broad Street, That's cowing after 12 o'clock.
Like
but
that.
on your residential street, there's not going to be necessarily cowing. Like, let's say you are on Broad Street and you live on a street called Pine off Broad.
Okay.
So on Pine Street, it's going to be peaceful, right? There's not going to be gunshot. But on Broad Street, niggas are pop it. So within your street, you're not necessarily going to get shot. Now, I can't say anything about a stray bullet. But no one's going to actively be fighting on your street. It's just on the main streets. After 12 o'clock, it goes down.
It's a really tempting offer, you know, but no, it's gonna have to go with probably the COVID here.
So still you're down with COVID and potentially people dying and getting...
People are dying in the... People only die... People... Okay, you have 20 hours in the other scenario where people are dying constantly, you know?
Well, they're fighting, not... They could be potentially, yes, they're dying because they're fighting, but not necessarily.
Like, is this just like a civil war? Like, is it like a country invading us? Like, what kind of war is it? Like,
well, it's a. I want to say it's a war, because the one about. So I'm gonna say it's a war about equality. Let's make it easy. Let's just make it. It's a war where right now we're fighting. You're either going to live in an era where between 12 and 8 the next morning there's constant fighting over equality.
okay. So these 4 hours.
But no COVID.
So in the 4 hours, though, was everyone just like, "Hey, man, I'm sorry I shot at you, bro. We just chill right now."
Yeah, in the 4 hours where it's like ceasefire, kind of like how it happens in our everyday world where niggas are fucking at war, but all of a sudden there's a ceasefire and no one is shooting because there's a ceasefire. So yes, between 8 o'clock and 12, there's a ceasefire and we're all good. Black and whites can unite, and we can still high five each other and all that shit. But after that, civil war out this bitch.
You know, so to answer that question simply, definitely COVID. But I do question why the war. So, is the war ever gonna like finish? Because if you're chill with the people for 4 hours, like, why you chill with them for 4 hours and just
so within I think within that time you can make progress, right? Within those 4 hours, the ceasefire, you could have time to talk without the fighting. It's kind of like you ever, I don't know if you ever got into a fight before, but once you're in the fight, you know, you're in it, and then you get all that energy out and you have time to think with your rational brain, but then time builds up and you start thinking about shit and you start fighting again, right? So it's just, you know, you get what I'm saying?
I do.
It's like you have those time within the ceasefire to talk to each other.
I don't know, man. I think you're trying to sell me a car right now that's
I'm trying
has
to sell you
300,000 miles on it. You're like, but wait. But the cup holders work. You can put your coffee in the cup
when
holder.
it rains, you can use the windshield. But there's no heat. But the windshield.
Exactly. You don't have no tires on the car, but you get great gas mileage with the engine.
If you ever get a tire on the car, the mileage is just.
I don't know, man. I'll probably take.
So you're gonna take.
I'll still take the COVID.
Wow. You see this, guys. I tried to help the world and get rid of COVID, but still, even with that, he still wants COVID. That's fine. That's fine.
You know, cause I don't know about the war torn thing. I mean, I'm all for
even with the peace. Okay. Cool.
I'm all for the war, man. Like we can fight. We can like pop. You know what I'm saying? But like that's every day, man. That gets draining after a while. You know, like 4 hours ain't enough. How am I gonna go to work? I gotta go change people's tires. Don't say like, I pop. Is like, bro, can we just hold off? I just gotta change this.
Well, you'll get a pass while you're at work if your job is to help people.
He cool. Let him go.
He with the A's. You know what I mean? He good. Well, thank you guys very much for listening to our nonsense. That was pretty cool. My name is Clayon. That is Jacob. This has been Clayon Couch. We appreciate you. Hopefully you appreciate us.
Clayon Couch. Yeah.
Bye.
Well, we get